first and foremost, let's talk about masks. I've said since the beginning of the school year, there's two primary goals. One is to create a safe learning environment for all staff and students. And then the second is to support an educational environment that allows for daily in-person instruction, so we don't have to close again. And that's 100% something we're focused on and really want to achieve. The current mask mandate that I have in place goes till January 23rd, expires on the 24th. I've provided a lot of information. I have a lot of information I'm going to go over tonight. And then the most important thing I want is input from you. As you are elected officials and represent our community, I want to hear from you. What do you want to do with masks?
Yeah, I still do want exit, but I also understand if we have to go to an emergency session and come up with something different to do it.
On the 24th,
Yeah.
with the understanding that strongly recommended. But if we see these numbers starting to see the curve going back up, you would support.
Yeah.
And I just do not feel that the numbers are where I'm comfortable putting my recommendation behind making it strongly recommended.
I could go right now and be done on the 24th, but I do respect that the teachers asked us for 3 more weeks, and maybe that's, like you say, with the data that we're seeing, that we're just not quite there.
People are going to do what they're going to do. Kids are going to do what they're going to do. But when they're in our care, I think we need to keep them and their peers and their teachers and their staff, as safe as we can. So my preference would be that we maintain the mask requirement.
I certainly would support Dr. Schultz if you feel it's wise, if you feel it's okay to go to strongly recommended. I think that's appropriate. If you believe that we need sort of a hybrid to do K-5 for another 2 weeks, I would be willing to support that, but I would hope that we would be able to continue to get our older kids back to strongly recommended.
I guess my feeling from the board, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the majority of you are fine with me going on the 24th, that it's optional, and keep watching the data. If it goes up and I feel like I need to make a change, I'll give you a call and I'll make the change.
All right, the first person I have is Chuck Barty.
I want to thank the board for stepping outside the status quo in regards to putting the largest tax increase in record school board history on pause until the board can thoroughly review the levy's details. Most likely your decision will be to put a levy on the November ballot. Since employee contracts do not end until June 2023, this action has the effect of having negotiated a new contract. I repeat, asking the public to approve a levy right before a contract is ending. It's the same as having negotiated a new contract. 80% of the levy proceeds will be expected to be given in salary and benefit increases. I understand that you would want to ask for 4.9 in November, which is the maximum that voters will consider approving, rather than risk having to come before the voters again in a few years. In an effort to avoid levy fatigue, lengthening the cycle to 6 or 7 years and negotiating a contract at the same length could be an option. The new contract couldn't be your standard 2% yearly base increase for everyone. It would have to address the fact that some employees are paid over market salaries and that the increase would need to be smaller than others. The over-reliance on seniority has put the school district in the position of being fiscally unsustainable. Please don't kick the can down the road. Have the courage to address this issue before the levy is voted on by communicating to the public the intention that the levy fund will fund the school for 6 or 7 years. Now you can negotiate a contract that is fair to both employees and taxpayers. I'm happy that the district will be putting more financial information on the website. I also believe that the public needs much more education on school finances.
Thank you. Jacob Newton.
As you just said, Jacob Newton. So I have kids that go to school here at Goldwood, and I get the emails from the principal there, Rosiak, weekly, and I would imagine that parents that have kids at other schools in the district here get those same emails. My question is, why are we not following up with maybe some positive emails saying, because to my knowledge, nobody in the school district has passed away from COVID. Anybody might know if that's the case or not, any students. I don't believe so, but I think that one way to help spread some positivity and some love perhaps is to send out other emails letting parents know that our kids have also healed and recovered. And then even deeper than that, have any staff members passed away. Does anybody know that? I don't believe so either, because I would imagine that if that was the case, we would know that. So again, I think there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of mass hysteria, as you said, highs and lows. There's a lot of information out there, and I think what this world needs more of is love and positivity. So I think we could start doing some more of that, and again, sending some more messages to the parents to let them know, hey, yeah, our kids tested positive. Again, you know what? They healed as well, just like a lot of our kids are doing. Dr. Schofield had already brought it up in terms of the vaccination rate here in our zip code. I think we have roughly around 23,000 people that live here. As you said, 86%. So it's my understanding and the research that I've been doing that we don't need to do anything for our children in terms of their safety. They're already pretty safe from all of these viruses. But we can start to educate the staff on how to perhaps keep themselves safe. Vitamin D plus K2, zinc, cold exposure, breath work, meditation, yoga, all of these things to connect mind, body, and spirit. I think there's some things that can be implemented as well. So instead of having a pivot, perhaps the pivot could be in proper education on how to negate long-lasting impact from COVID. That's all I got. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next, Margaret Mann. Did I say that properly? Margaret? Nash. Nash? Sorry. That's okay.
Hello. Okay, I'm trying to make it short and sweet. I didn't really prepare anything, so sorry if I'm all over the place. It's really encouraging to hear all of your guys' different viewpoints about the masking policy. And I speak again as a licensed counselor who works in a nursing home, so I work with COVID positive patients every day for the last over 2 years, as well as with the homeless. All the patients that I work with have multiple comorbidities, including not only their age, but their obesity, COPD, diabetes, cancers, all kinds of things. And not one of them, thankfully, that I've worked with has even been hospitalized due to their symptoms. Especially with Omicron, it's much less dangerous, so it was nice to hear the board acknowledge that. I think it's great that, you know, for parents to just have the decision. I don't think any kid or family should be bullied for either going to school in a mask or not in a mask. I think it's just important, you know, especially as a community, to all just get along, you know. I don't, if my daughter was bullying someone for wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, you better believe she'd be getting a talking to. As well as myself. I have friends that wear masks and don't wear masks, and that's not how I choose my friends, you know. I try to respect their opinions. You guys talk about safety of our kids, and throughout this whole thing, I've just been so baffled by, like, why are we so hyper-focused on COVID? You know, we're obviously, I mean, just as an example, we say that masks have no negative effect, but it negatively affects our communication. If it didn't, we wouldn't have several of you guys removing your masks to communicate during this meeting. It has an effect on our communication. Lastly, I don't know if there's anything you guys can do about this, but there is a member at this meeting tonight sitting in the back. She took a picture of the names and addresses of the attendees here, and she publishes them on a Facebook page. She publishes people's employments who are against masks and allows parents to bully each other. So I don't know if parents, you guys know about that. So.
And we're going to ask that people keep their comments to their position and why we support that position.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for making us aware.
You're welcome, sure.
Elise Turner.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hope everyone's doing well this evening. My name is Lee Cernick. I'm a mother of 5 with 3 currently enrolled in the Rocky River School District, specifically Goldwood. So they all have been affected over the last year where they've been, year and a half, required to wear masks in many different ways. I'm very thankful that this evening the decision was made to go mask optional for everyone, obviously not the preschoolers, and I hope it remains that way. And if you do feel the point to pivot, I would like you all to take a moment and think. What would you want? Someone to make that decision for you, or for you to make that decision for yourself, for your children? You say numbers. I don't care about numbers anymore. It's not about the numbers. It's about their emotional, psychological well-being. It is tearing these kids apart, and I have 3 that I have to look at every single day. So I will say for now, thank you. And again, in the future, please consider just making it a parent choice. Wash your hands of it. Be done with it. We do not hold you responsible if one of our children gets sick. We hold ourselves responsible. It is our choice. And option is the best thing you can do. I will not hold any parent if they would like to wear their mask. I will not judge you. I will not say anything about you. My children won't. It is your choice, whether it's medical, religious, or just something that you hold near and dear to your heart, that you know it's the wrong thing for them. Lastly, I would like you to consider no longer requiring 3 feet apart for these kids. They're sad. They want to sit with their friends. If 2 people next to them are talking to 2 other people, they have no one. They're upset. Listen to these little people. They're screaming it. But we as adults have to back away and let them have a choice. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Amanda says
Thank you very much. This is the first meeting I've ever been to. I've gone to Rocky for my whole life, and my kids have gone to 8th grade, but then we sent them on to private schools. I do have to say, I just plucked my son out of his private school. He's doing great, but this is more important. The parents will be able to speak, and that's one thing about private schools that you speak. You have no platform to speak. But in my previous life for kids, I was in the fitness and health industry. The bottom line is sickness and disease cannot survive in an aerobic atmosphere. That's an atmosphere with oxygen. But they will thrive. Sickness and disease will thrive when oxygen is not available to the child, to the adult. My son, I had many things I was going to say, but he wrote me a little note that I had found, and it actually says it all. He's the one that now goes to Rock River High School. He's a sophomore. Mom, please read this to decision makers. We are all in this together, but we differ because your adult minds are fully developed. Ours are not. We can feel the sluggishness and the difference in our brains and mindset from lack of oxygen that these masks have caused. Did you know that brain cells die because of not getting enough air? A stroke is caused from no oxygen getting to the brain. It only takes 5 minutes without air to kill the brain. Our cognitive functions, that's sensing, intuition, thinking, and feeling, are being damaged. A damage that is irreversible. Breathing our own air is in the theta state. He does a lot of reading about the brain. He loves brain, hence I got this letter from him. Breathing our own air puts us in a theta state, a state of semi-consciousness when you're in a new sleep. This lowers our heart rate, but we are expected to be in an alpha state to perform at school.
Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm going a different route. First of all, I came up here to talk about observations about levy and just lack of knowledge out there. So I'm really glad to hear about the Q&A page that you guys all decided. I think that's going to be a world of knowledge. It'll be a great link for our community members to be able to relate to, and then also all of our community groups to be able to give to their membership. So we can hit a lot of people with that one link. I would also like to see even more though, because if we can hit people and not only like a link or a video, you know, hit those different, like we say with our kids, learning styles, you're gonna get that knowledge out there, and then I think our voters will be able to make the right choice come November. So I just wanted to share that with everyone, and thank you again for getting that Q&A up and moving.
Thank you, Kelly.